All right, welcome to 100F. Today we will be doing part 11 of the Barron Machat Young Lean story. Thanks for tuning in. My sign, Emily, do you?
Doesn't go live with his assistant once. Shit.
I need my assistant at all times. This show is brought to you by our sponsor, Automat. Wash it all. Buy your soul back. The links are cash.me/$washitall, paypal.me/washitall. You can DM Real Cult Girl on Twitter or Daylife Mary on Instagram for Bitcoin and Ethereum wallets. Again, that's cash.me/$washitall. PayPal.me/washitall, DM Real Cult Girl on Twitter, or Daylife Mary on Instagram for Bitcoin and Ethereum wallet. Thy Moon War asks, does DLA still exist? Great question. Yes, it does exist. Okay, so just a little. What's up, bro? You got some feedback for me?
No, I wish I could be as confident as to answer a question with one statement and then move on.
Oh, because you'd be explaining it for 10 minutes.
Here's the timeline.
Emily's saying that she wishes that she was so confident as to be able, or Daylife Mary, actually, says that she wishes she was so confident to answer a question. Answer a question with one word and then move on, rather than spending 6 minutes defending herself and backing into her little rabbit hole. But I'm beyond that, bro. It's cool. So just to give a little bit of background on who I am, my name is Jesus. I've been part of the Daylife military for the last 3 years. I have, before that, I was a young executive at Red Eye Worldwide, which was the biggest independent music distributor in America. And I ran a record label called Break World Records. I was basically an art fag. And, but with a business, I was pursuing business. I was not only about the music, I was also a musician. But yeah, so part of this story is to bridge the gap between that world, 9 to 5, Edan, taking business trips, going to Europe, going to festivals, doing A&R, dealing with artists, my interests all being in the music and art world, to my interests all being in cults and the cult world, which is where I am now. And giving you an idea of, a path, okay? Because currently, I was able to find my path because of the events that happened to me at Red Eye. And I think similarly people have found this path through other events. And I am trying to actually expedite that for you. I don't want you to have to experience or be in proximity to sacrifice and self-murder in order to see that this is really the only shit going on. So, where I left off yesterday, I talked about Stephen Machat leaking Warlord. I talked further about, the breaking of bonds. So, and I encourage everyone who's watching this show to go back and watch part 1 through 9. If you're watching on Instagram, only parts 7, 8, and 9 are on Instagram. The rest, you have to go on my Twitter. Same handle as here, Jesus of Daylife, and you can watch them. They're posted on Periscope. And I believe the first episode was 3 weeks ago. So there's a lot to get into. If you're watching this is your first time, stay tuned. There's still really important shit that you can get without knowing the full context. In brief summary, my business partner, Barron Machat, back in 2015, died in a fire in his car. Simultaneous to the artist, I'm going to explain this again, actually, and I'm going to slow down a little bit. On April 8th, 2015, young Lean, after various drugs that he had ingested and mind control that he was under, performed a satanic ritual in the apartment of my business partner, Barron Machat. Simultaneous to that ritual, Barron got in a car crash, his car lit on fire, and he died in that fire. And in previous episodes, yes, young Lean. Thigh Moon War says, nah, I was really just listening to Hurt. Now that is very fucking real. I was the A&R for Young Lean. He was supposed to put out Warlord on my record label, on Break World Records. When the events that transpired did transpire. So on this episode, I really want to tell you, zoom out a little bit and give you a perspective of what my next few years looked like after this. Now, on the last episode, I talked a little bit about clout poisoning. Clout poisoning is when you get too much clout at the wrong moment, all right? And any pain matrix clout, any success that you're getting out there is poisonous, because it's success predicated on a system predicated on pain and toil. So you got to ask yourself, is succeeding in that system worth it, bro? Like Jesus said, the OG Jesus, Yeshua, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So right now, you may be looking up to people who have a bunch of clout. You may be looking up to Young Lean with 1 million followers and fucking, couple million in the bank. You may be looking up to influencers. But these people are more lost than you are. Imagine that. You are actually, through not getting that level of clout, through not rising to that status within the pain matrix pyramid, you are actually in a better spot. Biggie Smalls said, "Mo money, more problems." Let me just putting an accent on that. Biggie Smalls said, "More money, more problems." That's my white version. Thy Moon War says, "Why does that make me feel better?" LMAO. It should make you feel better. Jesus also said that pimps and prostitutes have a better chance of getting into heaven than you. So the way that it's set up, the degrees of success that you're told you have to have in order to have a happy life, all the shit that Gary Vee is telling you, are completely satanic. It's not true. Now, if you're at the bottom, if you're sinking, if you haven't been able to achieve pain matrix clout, if you're a loser, you actually have more of a chance in the pleasure matrix. Because you've already done some of the falling. You're a falling star, bro. You did not rise. You weren't chosen. Now, for me, I am thankful. I am thankful for Barron's sacrifice. For his sacrifice. Because it put me on a path rather, it took me off the path that I was heading on to pain matrix success. Because I would have been so fucking poisoned, bro. I would have been so poisoned by that. I was 23. If I was a 23-year-old with Young Lean on my record label, jet setting, going on tour with the guy, doing even more drugs than I was already doing, elevated to a status while also putting out my own music and elevating my fucking career as an artist, I would be so fucked right now if I wasn't dead, like Barron. Barron was on a path, and he had achieved some of that success in the pain matrix. He's not with us anymore. Doesn't always lead to death, though. You know, it does not always lead to death. It can just lead to misery, disconnection from your childhood dreams, anything like that, bro. And I want to make it very clear, because I've been focusing on Barron, and I've been focusing on him being the victim of everything that happened, which isn't totally right, okay? I'm not saying he wasn't the victim. And that Young Lean wasn't the perpetrator. But the victim and the perpetrator have a specific role that they play. Okay? And they act as entertainment to the witness or the rescuer. Now, the fact that Young Lean now, he's got documentaries, he's still an icon, people are telling his story as like a coming of age story. Like he's not like he didn't completely lose his mind and go and fucking open a portal that got his fucking best friend killed. Not his best friend, my best friend. That got his manager killed. He did all that. Now, the Satanic Pain Matrix might tell you that it's worth it. And that's what they tell you with Lady Gaga. Sacrificing Lena Morgana. That's what they show you with Lily Uzi Vert. Whose basically whole career has been a sacrifice. Has been a satanic ritual. Lil Uzi Vert, Lucifer. And now he's got a fucking diamond embedded in his forehead. And to the Pain Matrix, that might look like he's winning. Or that is the reward that you get once you do these things. Those people are deeply miserable. Young Lean is miserable. Just like anyone who succeeds in the Pain Matrix is miserable. So, what I wanted to talk about is my descent, my fall from Pain Matrix grace. Now, in the same way, I was able to really fucking hide the ways that I was being brought down and the ways that I was suffering. I actually didn't hide it, really. Well, I hid it in plain sight. And this is something called Sympathy for the Devil. And basically, after experiencing Young Lean's version of Sympathy for the Devil, and for people who haven't watched this before, Sympathy for the Devil is where you hide your sadness, I take that back. Sympathy for the devil is when you hide your possession, your darkness, in I'm so sad, I'm depressed, I'm mentally ill, in order to get sympathy from people. And the only thing that young Lean has garnered through being the perpetrator is sympathy. And Barron did the same thing. And sympathy is how they get you, bro. Now, we talk a lot about enabling, all right? And enabling is a buzzword right now, especially when you talk about cults. The witness, or rather, in the pain matrix pyramid, the rescuer is enabling the victim and the perpetrator. So young Lean got rescued by the documentary makers in Vice, and they got his story of murder and sacrifice turned into a coming-of-age story that should inspire kids to keep making music, keep making art. Because, you know, your art will touch people, even though you might kill some people with it. And Barron is the perfect victim of the, you know, and actually probably gets less sympathy, less rescue than the perpetrator in this case. But he's the victim. He's still, you know, his is an example of burning out too fucking fast. Burning the candle at both ends, or whatever fucking cliche you're going to use to describe that, as the rescuer. It puts you in the role as the rescuer. So I repeated that sympathy for the devil. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be a victim perpetrator fucking bundle. And it's hard for, you know, maybe in telling this I can really tell you exactly which one I was. But I was really I was playing with both, bro. And I was playing with darkness. You should have seen my art while Barron was still alive. It was like light fucking colors. You know, it was a little bit satanic in that I was kind of making cartoony kid shit as an adult. That was a little dark. But I was using my light color palettes. I was using their eraser tool. I was basically finger painting, you know. But, you know, it was light and it was bright. After Barron's death, I went straight into the fucking darkness. And I was like, bro, this darkness is getting me the attention that I want. Making art about fucking, whether or not I was conscious of it, making art that was dark, making art that touched on Satanism, making art that was demonic. I used to edit demon faces onto my face. I'd fucking edit my face to look like a fucking lizard head. I'd put weird things with children and zombie kids and just weird winks towards adrenochrome. I didn't even know what adrenochrome was, but I was still winking at it. It was in my consciousness. I was like looking for that fucking shit and wearing it on my fucking sleeve. I was signaling so hard. Meanwhile, I was gaining more and more attention after this moment. After absorbing, that was the lesson that I learned. I didn't learn like, fuck the music industry, fuck art, this is all bullshit, I need to get out and do some social shit. No. No. Big no. Big no on that. I was like, okay, I gotta fucking encapsulate this darkness. Because when I absorb that darkness and I use it, I'm getting the attention that I want. Now, none of this shit is on my fucking Instagram anymore, but I kept it. I kept it on my Instagram for a long time. Just to kind of show you, like, what pre-cult and post-cult look like, where I was coming from and where I am now. But I may need to, on the next live, bring up some photos so I can show you without fucking invoking any fucking shit. But I'm kind of at the point where I don't need to look at dark shit anymore. I've already absorbed, I know the fucked up trappings of the pain matrix. It doesn't help me to see that much more of that. It helps me to see their fucking game plan and their strategy, but gazing back at, like, how fucking satanic I used to be, it's not really, it doesn't really smack. But I think that you would benefit to see the difference between that and where I'm at. And also having that critical success taken from me, bro. And what? Building shit. That is elementally what makes men fucking proud to be men. That is a source of fucking pride. But I got that shut down in 2015, building shit. And I was like, oh, building shit just kills people. I was like, I'm going to stop building, to the point where I didn't even want to be a fucking man anymore. I was done. I was like, I don't even fucking want to be a man. Because being a man means that I have to fucking build, and I don't want to build anymore. I just want attention poured on me. I want to retract into the female, and what's going to get me more attention than being female? And I literally went down that road for like 2 years. I basically gave myself fucking gender dysphoria. Because it was fucking life, career, everything dysphoria. I was just miserable. And I was looking for any sort of escape from that fucking misery. And I was like, oh, this one also goes hand in hand with a fucking lot of clout. And this is very cancelable topics that I'm going into. But I see that same parallel in fucking Bladee. Who's now, I guess, taking hormones. And Bladee, right after Young Lean's death, was the first one to start talking about it. Like, in explicit terms, that Young Lean had signed contracts with devils before Barron was sacrificed. And that narrative is completely removed. They do not talk about that anymore. But that was being talked about explicitly. Bro, and Bladee was the friend that Young Lean needed. Bladee was the one who took Young Lean to the hospital. Barron did not have someone to do that for him. Okay? And Bladee was that guy. He was the one who stood up. He was a bro when he needed to be. Barron did not have bros like that. I could have been a bro like that, but I wasn't there. I was supposed to call him that day, and I didn't. Because I wasn't a bro. I did not stand up for him, and he's gone. Bladee, after telling the truth, had to kind of like downplay that, because they're like, it's PR. You don't talk about the contracts. You say it for the disclosure. But then you don't talk about it all the time as if it's the truth and make it part of your story. No, you flash it. That's very, very demonic. You flash something and you take it away. So having to live with knowing that part of the story and not talk about it is the same fucking shit that I went through. So I see parallels in what he's doing as to what I'm doing. Or as I see where he's at compared to where I was at years ago. Is that why you looked at me?
Yeah, I was like, what you're doing right now?
Not what I'm doing right now. I will be very clear. I see parallels to where Bladee is right now to where I was 3-4 years ago when I was spiraling. When I was trying to get away from who I was. But that's clout poisoning. Because any clout that they give you in the pain matrix just fucking hurts, bro. It hurts you. So bro, and I'm telling it like it's a tragedy, but these were fucking lit times, bro. It was lit. I was like, my suffering was fucking, it's what got me to realize that my fucking life was real, eventually. And realized that I was in a cult. when you wake up and you realize you're in a cult, and a cult that you didn't choose, a cult that wasn't being told to you was a fucking cult. And that it's all cults. Then going and joining a cult that calls itself a cult and is at least honest about the one thing that you have been lying to yourself about, that everyone has been lying to you, that you are part of this system already. And they're like, yep, yeah, but we do it. And we do it with all these standards and integrity. And we do not shy away from the fucking thing being the thing. We call it what it is. It's a level of honesty that you're just not used to. And you fucking come upon it and it's like, oh, that's the fucking thing. And it took me spiraling and hitting fucking whatever rock bottom was for me, which for me was doing fucking meth and heroin. And on top of that, I was a fucking sex addict. The only thing that maybe the heroin addiction did for me was kill my fucking libido enough where I could like start to become interested in or thinking about other things. You know, that's a positive. But yeah, bro, I was just in spiral mode. And that's what happens to the rescuer. That's what happens to the witness, bro. They don't get the fucking polar extremes of being the perpetrator or the witness. They have to live with having experienced what they experienced, but not really getting the result. It's a slower fucking demise in the pain matrix. It's a slower demise. Decline, more like, because it did not lead to my demise. It led me to fucking realize that my life was fucking worth something and worth living. And I don't want y'all to have to go through that. I don't want y'all to have to fucking be traumatized by that shit, bro. You do not actually have to experience trauma like I experienced. And a lot of you have experienced trauma equal to worse. Because that is what the pain matrix does, bro. That is what it perpetuates. And that's what I figured out, bro. I don't have to pretend anymore. I don't have to pretend that I'm not my fucking boss's bitch, that I'm not my landlord's bitch, that I my cult leaders aren't just all around me, that I'm not doing this. I'm not getting harvested anymore, bro. I was getting harvested every day. I was eaten off. I was harvested. My fucking energy was taken from. I was bro. I was being harvested, bro. And now I'm not getting harvested. Because I know what I'm fucking paying for. My relationships are negotiated and explicit and detailed. I'm not just being taken from anymore. I'm not allowing myself to. And that part fucking feels good. Now, there's a ton of story in that fucking 3 years. There's a ton of story. And there's shit I've talked about many, many times. And I encourage you to go back and watch my old lives. It's a lot of story. And I could detail my fucking decline. And it may sound familiar. Or it may be something you haven't done yet. And now in 2021, it's a lot quicker, all right? It took me 3 years, but nothing lasts 3 years anymore. There's nothing that lasts 3 years, bro. Wall Street bets lasted 2 weeks, and then it was NFTs fucking came super fucking quick. They changed the narrative every 2 weeks. We are in prime acceleration mode, bro. You can't keep up with the thing that's fucking happening, let alone fucking spiral and take it 3 years. You don't have 3 years to spiral. No, it's dangerous, bro. They're telling you need a fucking health passport to go places. You gotta fucking get, you're being pressured by your family, by the fucking society to get a vaccine shot into you. It's random chemicals being fucking put in your body. Things are accelerating. I'm glad I went through my fucking rock bottom before now. Now it's hard. But I'm here to say you don't even have to hit your rock bottom, bro. You just have to be done. You just have to be done. And what I'm showing you is that it's okay to be done with the pain matrix. It's okay. It's okay to be like, I don't want to fucking do that shit anymore. It's okay to not have to experience all the reasons why. And to be able to see it. Because what I talk about is just patterns, bro. Young, lean, and barren is not a... It's not a singular thing. It has been happening for centuries. It has been happening over and over and over again. It's an archetypal story. And it is the story of the pain matrix. And whether you're the perpetrator, whether you're the victim or the fucking rescuer, you are stuck in that triangle. You're stuck in that paradigm. I'm saying don't wait. I'm stuttering now. I'm saying don't wait to experience it for yourself. Recognize the pattern, and then you're a super powerful individual. Then you have a path towards sovereignty, bro. And cults are going to be cults forever, bro. And cults are just what is. So you can decide whether you want to be conscious about it or unconscious. That's all it is, bro. That's all it is. This show is brought to you by fucking Automat, cash.me/$washitall, paypal.me/washitall. For the Bitcoin and Ethereum wallet, DM @RealCultGirl on Twitter and @Sergeant Major Mary on Instagram. See, and then, bro, they send you ops. They send you ops when you start to fucking tell the truth. They send ops into your fucking chat to derail, discourage, deny what you're fucking doing. It's all part of the fucking story, bro. It's all part of the fucking thing. So, there's a live example of it. And for those who aren't reading, Bant Lopez is like, Salam, bomb the towers, then you win. Exactly, bro. They'll send in the fucking ops when you start to tell the truth. Bro, he is. Bant Lopez says, I am the CIA.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah. So listen to the guy, bro. Listen to the truth that's coming out of his mouth. Believe people. Believe people when they tell you who they are. My name's Jesus. I go live every day. If you ever wondering what the fuck is going on with this guy, if you're wondering, like, how did he become the fucking Messiah? Like, what's a Christ concept? How did he get that beard? When I fucking knew that guy, he was clean shaven, had long hair. Like, what's his deal? What's going on with him? He's in a cult? I bet he's really secretive then. Like, oh no, he's not in a fucking cult? What's going on? Bro, he's talking, he's public? He's going public? He's going live every day? You can check all of that out. There are days worth of content of me just talking to you like I am. You can follow me, Jesus of Daylife, on Twitter and watch all of my previous lives. Follow me here. And tomorrow I'll be doing the Jesus Show. So tune in and see some slice of life content. And with that, I will leave you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.